Welcome back to Investing in Trading Live, sponsored by TradingAcademy.com. My name is Josh Lilquist, and welcome back to the show. We've been talking about how these markets actually function, the gift of financial literacy, how supply and demand works in the markets, which is our core strategy, which is designed to help our listeners make smarter and more intelligent investing decisions. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. That's Investing in Trading Live. But we also had a lot of people texting in just recently, Al, to our investing class. We have free investing classes here local at the Academy. We're a state-of-the-art academy here in Bloomington, and we have a couple different classrooms where we train people the skills of trading and investing, whether it's 401ks, whether it's IRAs, but also for income strategies, whether you're looking for a second income strategy or a third or fourth, whatever that may be. To come into one of these classes, simply just text the word investing to the number 210. That's for 2 seats for a class. Text investing to the number 210. Now, when you text, there's a couple steps to this. You text that word investing to 210. When you do that, you'll get a text right back. It'll be immediate, and there'll be a link for our landing page. And that just brings you to our schedule. So you can click that link, pick your own date for these classes. We have them here in Bloomington. We also have these in Wayzata. We have Edina, Maple Grove, Woodbury, Shoreview. So we're kind of doing a campaign across the metro area, but we have our local academy here where most people will come into for these investing classes just because they want to see our facility here. But just text investing to the number 210. Or if you're on your old computer, you can go to the interweb and just go to investwithota.com. That's investwithota.com, and you can get registered there on your own. So, Al, in that last segment, we did talk about supply and demand towards the end of that piece there, and it's the economic law. If there's more demand for something, price has to go up. It's just the way it works. If there's more supply for anything, and anything in life, price will go down if there's more supply than demand. So knowing that in the markets is not just the only thing. You have to understand when to identify and where to identify whether you should be a buyer or where you should be a seller in the markets. And on this segment here, we have a lot of listeners that are looking for that second income strategy. They have a job, a great job could be, and they're doing well. They're hopefully saving a little bit in their 401k or IRA, but they want to have more. They want to have more choices in their life. And with inflation and everything, things are not getting any cheaper. So they need to have, what they're looking for is having that second strategy. So imagine if you had that second strategy, what that could do for you. What would that change for you? Would it help you save more? Or would it help you do some of the things that you've always wanted to do? So when we talk about income strategies in the market, there's obviously stocks that are out there. That's an opportunity. So that could be one income strategy. Stocks are expensive, though. But there are assets in the market to use less capital, which means you have leverage or buying power, and there would be the futures market and the Forex market. So in this segment here, let's discuss the futures market, the Forex market, because everybody kind of knows what stocks are. We can discuss those markets to show our listeners, well, I guess for sure our YouTube listeners, I should say, but our audio listeners on the radio waves here, that there are other opportunities than just stocks. So if you work during the day, there's actually opportunities in the evening. So let's go with the futures market, because that's a pretty popular one that people are looking for to use an income strategy with. So what is the futures market? And let's talk through how someone might be able to utilize that for that income strategy.
Okay, just a couple of things I want to just comment on before I get into that. Now, you talked in that last segment about giving a gift maybe to your kids, have them come into a class like this. Actually, when you think about it, the things that you buy, think about it. Let me ask you this, Josh. Go back 5 or 10 years and tell me what Christmas presents you got or what holiday presents you got from your parents.
Oh gosh, probably a cordless drill.
But you really can't remember, can you?
Yeah, I mean, I was
No,
guessing
because
there anyway.
you forget about those things. But if you give the gift of education, give the gift of financial education, that's something that is a lifetime. It's something that your kids can use to benefit themselves forever. So that's one of the reasons that you might want to consider sending your kids to one of these classes.
Or coming with them.
Better yet, come with them. Absolutely, come with them. And this is maybe this is a gift for yourself too. Look
Exactly.
at it that way.
We like to give gifts for ourselves,
Yeah,
actually.
and now we're getting into this income segment. You wanted me to comment on futures, but why is it so important to generate an additional source of income? Well, for one thing, inflation has put a lot of people in a position where paying their bills doesn't leave a lot left over, if anything, to have a little bit of fun and to put into retirement. So
Hmm.
basically, what happens with most people is that they spend money that they make instead of having the money that they make work for them to make more money for them. And that's why additional income is so important. The truly successful people, we say this all the time, have maybe 3, 5, 7 different sources of
Hmm.
income, and that's not additional jobs. There are things that are really designed for short term income in the financial markets. Stocks really are a great asset for long term trading. But if you want to look at short term, which means that if you are looking for additional income, just income by definition is something that you get well basically on a short-term basis. If you want additional money, you can't wait 10, 20, 30 years to get it. So assets like futures are short-term in nature. In other words, you get into a position, you set it up properly using the right strategy, the right investment strategy that gives you the right opportunity at the right time to have the probabilities in your favor that is going to work with enough profit potential. That's kind of the basics. Futures basically is a family of things that you can trade. Basically, what you're doing is you're looking at whether something will be worth more in the future or less in the future, and then you invest or you trade accordingly. We're looking at the major stock markets. You can trade the stock markets in the futures market, all the major U.S. markets, the foreign markets. You can trade commodities. Your favorite, which is
Lean hogs.
lean hogs, corn, sugar, soybeans. You can trade currencies, interest rates. You can trade oil, precious metals, gold, silver. All of these things give you just a huge family of things that you have the opportunity to benefit from. And sometimes maybe the stock market is not doing what you anticipate it should do, or what it typically has done or historically has done. Maybe you want to look at something like commodities. That has been a great asset for people to trade. Maybe you just want to look at precious metals. Maybe you want to look at something that's going the opposite direction of the stock market. You can do that with futures. Some great opportunities there. It basically trades 24 hours a day,
Hmm.
and it also has great leverage. What we mean by leverage is what almost every one of you listening has used. If you have a mortgage on a house, a car loan, a credit card that you have some debt on, you basically are using other people's money. That's kind of what is involved here with leverage. You can have a small account, but that small account can control something significantly more valuable, maybe 20 times as much or 50 times as much as what you have in that account. That account,
Hmm.
basically you're using margin. It's the kind of the lifeblood of the futures and the Forex markets. But this gives everybody an opportunity to participate in something that may have been too expensive if you look at just putting a stock position together,
Yep.
because a lot of these equities now have very high stock prices stock prices associated with them. With the futures market, you can have a small amount of money, but still control something that is large, that has the opportunity for a greater than average return.
One of the things that I kind of picked up on what you were talking about there, Al, is you said the word opportunity several times.
Yep.
And I think that's what people are actually looking for. They want the opportunity to do things either better or differently, or whatever you want to call that. And they want to be able to do that comfortably. And that's why we do have these investing classes to talk about the futures market. So I'm going to give away some seats to this investing class that goes strictly into futures, what the futures market is, how you would trade it, times of day, all that stuff. So if you're driving, you might want to pull over. So I'm going to give a text line. So text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for a class that talks about what the futures market is for an income strategy. Text investing to the number 210, or simply go to our website, which is investwithota.com. So, Al, with the futures market, that's one strategy. So you mentioned earlier that the people that actually have more flexibility, more choices in their life, they don't just have one job, they have multiple sources of income. So let's just say somebody has a job and futures is maybe their second strategy. Forex could potentially be another strategy. Now think about this. If you've traveled the world, say you've traveled over to Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and what you have to do there is you have to exchange your dollars for Japanese yen. So that's foreign exchange. You're changing one currency for another. We can speculate that in the financial markets. It's called the Forex market for short. Foreign exchange, or the Forex market is what most people will call it. So with that being another opportunity, hence the word opportunity again, for another income strategy, so maybe that second or third, we need to get our listeners to understand what that is. So dive a little bit deeper. I know we're kind of getting close to end of time here, but dive a little bit deeper on what the Forex market is.
Yeah, in the Forex market, you're looking at the difference in exchange rates between two different currencies. So it trades as one investment, but there's actually two components to it, two different currencies that are involved. It does trade 24 hours. It has 50 to 1 leverage. Again, that word leverage. So every dollar could control something potentially worth 50 times that dollar.
So let's say somebody, they have plenty of capital, but they want to start small and be comfortable.
Yeah.
What would if somebody wanted to start with, let's just say a $5,000 account?
Sure.
How much money would that control in the financial markets with
Well,
Forex?
if you look at 50 leverage, 50 times leverage, that potentially could control $250,000. That's $250,000 with an account as small as $5,000.
And just to want to clarify that too, so you have the opportunity to control that. That's not your risk though. You
That's
control your risk.
Yep.
So you may only risk $50 on a trade, or maybe it's 20 or 100. You actually will dictate that.
Yep. No, that's true, and it does have that 24-hour trading opportunity. There's
Another perk
opportunity
there for
again.
flexibility.
Right, and it's really a great, more of a midterm trading vehicle. Some of these trends last long term, so you get some variety there, some opportunities.
What's pretty cool at the Forex market too, just to interrupt you there, is there's opportunities to people like to collect interest on things.
Yeah,
you can actually collect interest per day on certain trades as well. So that's another opportunity.
Yeah, and this is all part of the education. This part of that gift that you can give yourself and your kids. Learn how to do these things. But I think one of the things that people, when they hear us talk about futures or Forex or options, there's fear because of the unknown. They don't understand how these things work. They look at that kind of leverage as maybe being something that's unfamiliar to them and potentially devastating. And here's the important thing.
Well, hold on a second though. The same example is yesterday. I had the fear of the unknown as well. I have a light out in my staircase, and I had to walk up the stairs without the light, and I had that fear of the unknown. But you know what? We do it anyway.
Yep.
Right.
Well, every day we control risk. We control. We face fear, and we just learn how to control it. It's part of being a human being. It's part of what we learn, and that's also part of what we do for you as a student. One of our primary goals is to show you how to control risk, manage risk, and that basically kind of controls that fear component. So if you're going to be in the markets, you need a strategy, a plan that you can use that eliminates the fear of losing. So when you see a signal to take a trade or investment, you do it without hesitation or that fear. And you need to use something that's going to give you the opportunity to be consistently successful. That's what our core strategy is designed to do. But don't let the fact that you don't know about something keep you from maybe participating in the potential that is there. Come in and learn what the potential is, and let us show you why all of the major traders out there, all the professional traders, all the big institutions, use these leveraged assets. They use futures. They use Forex. All major corporations, international corporations, have to be concerned about the interest rates and currencies.
Yep. Big opportunities for them. Yep. Those opportunities are also available to us. And these concepts and techniques we're talking about, they're not new. They're just a little bit different. And that's why we want to introduce you to these in these investing classes. The gift of education, the gift of financial literacy. And if you haven't been taught some of this, I mean, doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how smart you are, doesn't matter how much money you have, because we talked about there's leverage you can use in the markets. When you use that properly, it's an advantage for you to be more confident in the markets no matter what you're going to start with. So I'm going to give away some seats. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for an investing class to gain that financial literacy. It's New Year's coming up. It's New Year's resolution time. Let's start that early so you don't get to New Year's and say, I'm going to do this now. Say, I already did that. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats, or simply go to investwithota.com. Al, coming up next, I got a lot more to discuss. I mean, I want you to get into IRAs, 401ks, opportunities with those. So stay tuned. This is Josh and Al investing and trading live. We will be right back.